Did you ever notice when you walk into a big store like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, there's always like a lot of space in front of you as soon as you walk into the store. That is called a transition zone. They figured out that people need to orient themselves when you walk into a store. They need a space, a zone, a transition zone to orient yourself before determining which way to go. Now, one study showed something really fascinating. What they did is they found shoppers, right, in a store, and what they did is they forced them to go right. And so the people went right, they bought their groceries, right, and then checked out. And then they did that for a while, watching people go to the right and check out. And then on average, they came up with an average cart price purchase. In other words, how much on average did people buy? Then, next phase of the experiment, on a different day, same store, they forced people to go to the left. And again, people shopped around. After a while, got the sample size, and they calculate the average cart size. In other words, on average, how much they bought. Which one do you think bought more? The people who went towards the right or the people who were pushed towards the left? If you said the right, you're dead on. What they figured out is that most of us are right-hand dominant. So if you're pushing the cart, you have your right hand free to grab stuff. If you're forced to the left, a lot of us don't like to use our left hand because that's just not our dominant hand. So even at that level, at that subtle level, your influence in terms of what to buy and how much to buy, depending on which way they force you to go. So influence is everywhere. Now, we're a right-hand dominant society. We also drive on the right-hand side of the road. So here's something to keep in mind. If you have a retail store, any type of store, when a person walks in, there's always a space for transition. I've seen it in stores. But keep in mind that you want to put your promotions on the right-hand side. Our tendency is always to go right. Even when we're not forced to go right, the tendency is always to go right, which means that the right-hand side of your floor space is the most valuable piece of real estate when it comes to marketing a product or service that you're offering that day or that month. Keep that in mind as we move into the holiday season.